Heroes come in all different shapes, sizes, colors, and time periods. They put others before themselves and swoop in to save the day. The hero in this story didn't need a cape or fancy tool belt to save innocent people from being treated unfairly. The name of this hero is Harriet Tubman. Let's start at the very beginning, about 45 miles or about an hour away from here in Salisbury. Harriet Tubman was born in Dorchester County, Maryland in the year of 1820. She was born to her mother, Rit, and father, Ben, and was one of 9 siblings. Maryland during this time was considered a southern slave state, meaning that Harriet and her family were forced to work as slaves in fields harvesting food or goods that could be sold, or in their owner's home cooking, cleaning, and caring for their owner's children. Harriet started working in Mary Patterson Boudreaux's and Anthony Thompson's home as a servant at the age of 5 years old. She then, at 12, was sent to work in the hot, dry, and unforgiving fields, where she was forced to work hours on end and was whipped by men on horses if she decided to take a break. Life was not easy for the slaves at this time. Harriet experienced many difficult times that caused her injuries that she had for the rest of her life. From an early age, Harriet was openly against the mistreatment of others and would not partake in harming other slaves, even if that meant putting herself in harm's way. For example, one day Harriet was sent to the store by her slave master for a few things, when she came across a slave who had ran away from his plantation. The slave's overseer soon caught up to him and Harriet and demanded that she stop the runaway, but she would not help him. The overseer was furious and threw a 2-pound weight at her. The weight struck her in the head and knocked her unconscious. That injury caused her seizures, horrible headaches, and brain damage that she would suffer from for the rest of her life. Even after all of the bad times, she finally found her happiness when she married a free man named John Tubman and took on his last name. Just as things were looking up for her, her master shared that he was planning on selling a few of the slaves. Harriet could not be ripped away from her family, so she needed to find a way to escape to the northern free states and become a free woman herself. One night, Harriet slipped out of her cabin and began her journey north on foot with only the clothes on her back. She traveled for months, hiding away in homes of people willing to help slaves on their way to the free states, called station homes, during the day. At night, she would follow the North Star that twinkled like a glimmer of hope on her way to freedom. She successfully made it to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a free state, in 1849, about 90 miles from Dorchester County, Maryland. She then traveled back to Maryland to bring her family and friends to freedom. She grew more and more comfortable with the trip and began to bring large groups of slaves along with her on their way to freedom. The route she used to get to freedom was named the Underground Railroad because the slaves had to hide from those who were trying to catch the runaways. They would hide in station homes, ditches, and lakes to escape from those who were trying to catch them and bring them back to slavery. The men would use vicious dogs to hunt down the slaves, so to throw off the dogs, Harriet would warn her followers with a song that only the slaves knew the meaning to. She would sing the song "Wade in the Water" to tell the slaves to hide in the lakes or rivers, to hide their scent and not be found.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water, God's gonna trouble these waters.
Harriet made 19 trips from Maryland to Philadelphia and back, bringing 300 slaves to freedom. Without a cape or shield by her side, Harriet Tubman saved the lives of so many and is a true hero.